Ever feel that relentless hum of monotony, like each day just bleeds into the next and you can hardly tell them apart? Does it feel like you're wading through quicksand, watching your biggest dreams slowly sink out of sight? You're definitely not alone. So many people, maybe even more than 60% of workers, feel stuck right where they are, desperate for a change but totally paralyzed about how to make it happen. But what if the key to breaking free isn't some massive life-altering overhaul? What if it's a surprisingly simple technique, an often overlooked method that could completely reset your path, starting today? It's a feeling most of us know, right? You're going through the motions, just ticking off the days, but that spark, that buzz of purpose and excitement, it's either dimmed way down or maybe it's gone out completely. Perhaps it's your career that feels like a dead-end street. Maybe your relationships have lost their zing, or that personal project you were so excited about is now just gathering dust, a quiet reminder of your motivation fading away. This isn't just a phase, it's a state of being stuck, like being caught in emotional and mental quicksand where the harder you try to escape, the deeper you sink. Those dreams you once had, so vibrant and full of life, now they seem distant, hazy, almost like they belong to someone else. You might be feeling anxious, maybe even a little burned out, as you try to keep up with everything life throws at you while your internal compass just keeps spinning. You know, it's interesting. The American Psychological Association points out that our brain's fight or flight response can sometimes backfire, making us feel paralyzed when we're super stressed or facing tough decisions. That just makes it even harder to move forward. But here's the really important truth. Feeling stuck is not a life sentence. It's a signal. It's a loud, clear call from deep inside you saying something needs to change. And the good news, there is a way out. I'm about to share a powerful yet often overlooked 5-step unlock method. It's designed not just to pull you out of that quicksand, but to help you totally revamp your life's direction and breathe new energy into everything you do. This isn't about quick fixes or temporary pick-me-ups. We're talking about a genuine reset. So, forget those complicated theories or strategies that sound like they need superhuman willpower. This 5-point unlock method is all about practical, doable steps. It's based on how real, lasting change actually happens by using small, consistent actions and making key mindset shifts to build up some serious momentum. Think of it like a set of keys. Each key turns a different lock, and together, they open the door to the life you really want. We're going to walk through each of these 5 points, step by step. You'll get not just what to do, but why it works and how you can start using it right away. Ready to find those keys? All right, the very first step, the absolute foundation, is what I call the clarity compass. You can't find your way out of a maze if you don't know where you are in it, or even admit you're in one, right? Feeling stuck often hangs out in vagueness. So we're going to start with some brave, honest self-awareness. That means taking a good, hard look at your life. Where exactly do you feel stuck? Is it your job, your personal growth, your health, your relationships? Or maybe it's just a general feeling that everything is a bit blah. Now, the how is probably simpler than you think, but it does need a bit of quiet thinking time. Start by journaling. Just for 10 minutes each day, write freely about what feels stuck. Ask yourself some direct questions. What does stuck actually feel like in my body? What thoughts are always running through my head when I feel this way? What am I putting up with in my life that's just draining my energy? What dreams have I put on the shelf? Don't hold back or censor yourself. Just let it all flow out. This isn't about finding instant solutions. It's about figuring things out. You're gathering clues, spotting the patterns, the triggers, and the habits that keep you feeling stagnant. Maybe you'll realize you've outgrown your old goals or you've lost touch with your why. So why is this so important? Well, vague problems always lead to vague solutions. When you pinpoint the exact areas where you're unhappy, it's like flipping a switch in a dark room. Suddenly you can see the obstacles clearly, instead of them being these shadowy, undefined monsters. This first step of really looking at your thoughts and identifying these patterns is so often the first big move toward change. It's about realizing that feeling stuck is usually a message that your old ways of handling things just aren't cutting it anymore. By taking this time for self-reflection, you start to get your power back. You go from just watching yourself be stuck to actively investigating your own life. Okay, so once you've got a clearer picture of where you're stuck, the next essential key is the mindset flip. This is all about changing that inner voice, that story you tell yourself. So much of why we feel stuck comes down to limiting beliefs. Those sneaky thoughts like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, it's too late for me, or this is just who I am. Sound familiar? These are classic signs of what psychologist Carol Dweck calls a fixed mindset, which is the belief that our smarts and abilities are just set in stone. With that mindset, challenges feel like huge threats, and any failure feels like proof that we're just not cut out for it. The mindset flip is where you start to actively build a growth mindset. That's the understanding that you can develop your abilities and intelligence through dedication, hard work, and learning from what happens along the way. It's about changing I can't into I'm learning to, or I haven't figured this out yet. This isn't just about thinking positive, it's about remembering neuroplasticity, that amazing ability our brains have to actually rewire themselves and form new connections, no matter how old we are. So, how do you actually make this flip happen? Start by really listening to your self-talk. When you catch yourself thinking a limiting belief, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought 100% true? What proof do I have that it's not true? What would I tell a friend if they said this about themselves? Then consciously reword that thought into one that's more growth-focused. For instance, if you think I'm awful at public speaking, try changing it to, public speaking is a skill I can get better at with practice. And every time I try, it's a chance to learn. Start seeing challenges as opportunities to grow, not as judgments on your worth. And failures, they're not the end of the world, they're just valuable feedback, good information for your next try. Studies show again and again that a growth mindset helps you become more resilient, more adaptable, and find more meaning in life. All things you need to break free from feeling stuck. It helps you see effort as the way to get better at things. This shift is huge because it changes how you deal with difficulties and opens up a ton of possibilities that a fixed mindset just keeps locked away. With a bit more clarity and a mindset that's starting to shift, it's time for the spark igniter. Feeling stuck often means you're trapped in a loop of routine and predictability. Your brain, bless its efficient heart, loves familiar patterns, but too much of the same old thing can lead to mental ruts. The spark igniter is all about intentionally shaking things up by trying new things, no matter how small they seem. Why does this work so well? Well, stepping outside your comfort zone, even just a little bit, does a few pretty cool things. First, it brings in novelty, which can jolt you out of that autopilot mode. Second, it gives you new experiences, which can lead to fresh perspectives, new skills, or even help you stumble upon hidden interests and passions you never knew you had. And third, and this is a big one, it builds your discomfort muscle. Let's be honest, growth and change are usually a bit uncomfortable. The more you practice stepping into the unfamiliar, the less scary future challenges will feel. So how do you use the spark igniter? Commit to trying one new thing each week. It doesn't have to be anything massive. It could be as simple as taking a different route to work, trying out a new recipe, listening to a podcast on a topic you know absolutely nothing about, striking up a conversation with someone new, safely of course, checking out a new coffee shop, or even starting a quick 5-minute online tutorial for a skill you've always been curious about. The goal isn't to become an expert overnight, it's the act of trying that counts. It's about shaking up your routine, bringing in fresh energy, and proving to yourself that you can do new things. Regularly bringing in these little bits of newness helps break that monotony that often comes with feeling stuck, and it can really spark your curiosity and get you more engaged with the world again. All right, you're getting clearer, your mindset is shifting, and you're sparking new experiences. Now it's time for the Momentum Multiplier. This is where you tap into the amazing power of small, consistent daily habits. That whole idea that you need a massive life overhaul to make changes, it's mostly a myth. Real lasting transformation usually comes from tiny, almost unnoticeable changes that add up over time. The Momentum Multiplier is all about finding and starting one keystone habit. A keystone habit is a small change or routine that can create a kind of positive ripple effect, helping other good habits to form and shifting your behavior in general. For example, making your bed every morning might seem tiny, But for a lot of people, it's a small win that sets a productive tone for the rest of the day. Other ideas? Maybe a 10-minute daily walk, drinking a glass of water first thing when you wake up, or spending 15 minutes reading before bed. How do you pick and start your keystone habit? Think back to your clarity compass findings. What's one small habit that, if you did it consistently, would make the biggest positive difference in the area where you feel most stuck, or just to your overall well-being? Start incredibly small, so small it almost feels easy. If you want to exercise more, don't sign up for an hour at the gym right away. Maybe just commit to 5 minutes of stretching. The aim here is consistency, not intensity, especially when you're just starting out. Then, track this one habit. Mark it on a calendar, use an app, whatever works for you. Seeing that visual track record can give you a real sense of achievement and helps lock in the new behavior. Small wins build your confidence and create that positive momentum, making it easier to take on bigger changes down the road. This whole approach is about building momentum by doing, focusing on making progress, not on being perfect. The final key in our 5-point unlock method is the progress tracker. This is all about recognizing how far you've come, learning from every step, the good and the not so good, and using that info to keep moving forward. Getting unstuck isn't usually a straight line. There will be times you make great progress, times you hesitate, and maybe even a few steps back. The progress tracker helps you learn from all of it. This really comes down to two things: celebrating your progress and seeing any slip-ups as feedback. It's so important to acknowledge and celebrate your small wins. When you stick to your keystone habit for a whole week, pat yourself on the back. When you successfully reframe a negative thought or try something new, give yourself credit. This isn't about feeding your ego. It's about reinforcing the positive changes you're making, kind of like training your brain for more success. Little rewards can be surprisingly powerful motivators. Just as important is how you look at missteps. If you miss a day of your habit or find yourself falling back into an old thought pattern, please don't see it as a total disaster or a reason to give up. Treat it like useful information. Ask yourself, what happened? What were the triggers? What can I learn from this so I can do things differently next time? A slip-up isn't a final judgment on your abilities. It's just feedback that can guide you to a better approach. So how do you put the progress tracker into action? At the end of each week, take just a few minutes to review. What went well with your efforts to get unstuck? Where did you find things a bit tough? What did you learn? Then tweak your approach if you need to. Maybe your keystone habit needs to be even smaller to start. Maybe you need a new strategy for tackling a particularly stubborn, limiting belief. The main thing is to stay engaged with the process, to be an active shaper of your own transformation. This regular reflection and adjustment means you're not just blindly following steps, but you're thoughtfully navigating your way out of feeling stuck and into a life where you're always growing and feeling more fulfilled. Remember, this whole transformation thing is a journey, not a destination. So, there you have it. The 5-point unlock method. 1. The clarity compass. Get really honest about where you feel stuck. 2. The mindset flip shift from seeing fixed limitations to seeing growth possibilities. 3. The spark igniter. Intentionally bring in new experiences to break out of routines. 4. The Momentum Multiplier. Start one tiny, consistent keystone habit. And 5. The Progress Tracker. Celebrate your wins and learn from every single step you take. Feeling stuck is often a sign that you're ready for something more, something different, something. You absolutely have the power within you to make that change. And this 5-point unlock method is your practical guide. Don't let another day, another week, another month just drift by in that frustrating state of inertia. So here's your challenge. Starting, pick just one of these unlock points to focus on this week. Will you kick off with the clarity compass and spend 10 minutes a day journaling? Or maybe you'll go for the spark igniter and try one completely new thing. Perhaps it's time for that mindset flip and you'll consciously reframe one negative thought that keeps popping up. Whatever you choose, just action is the best cure for feeling stuck. Let me know in the comments below which unlock point you're going to tackle first and tell me why. I genuinely love to hear about your journey and any breakthroughs you have. If this resonated with you, if you found some value in this unlock method, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach more people who might be feeling the exact same way. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more strategies and insights to help you transform your life. Remember, you are not defined by where you are right now. You are capable of incredible change. The tools are now in your hands. Use them. Your revamped life is waiting for you. Go out there and unlock it.